Welcome to a new episode of the Startup Show. Today I'm here with Alex from Spectando, a VR company and proptech. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have me here. Thank you.
Welcome to a new episode of the Startup Show. Today I'm here at Spectando office. It's great to be here. It's my second proptech startup. It's also in VR, very interesting, very exciting. We actually met at the Digit Emo conference a few weeks back, which was a great event. We really enjoyed meeting up there, a lot of startups. But as usual on the Startup Show, maybe you can give a little bit of insights about yourself.
I'm from Germany originally, and now we are based in Zurich with our startup. My personal background is I studied engineering, economics and management. So I do have a bit of background in engineering and tech. Personally, I enjoy doing a lot of sports, hang out with friends, go for beers ever so often. And I'm really interested in tech and also especially about seeing how new technological innovations can be applied to new marketplaces, and really how you can drive fundamental change. Now we're based in Zurich. It's a great city. You can swim in the summer, you can go skiing in the winter. Employees love it. So
that's great. So we just realized we're more or less the same age, which is funny, but I'm studying at the University of St. Gallen, as I told you before, and a lot of students watch this show. So maybe you can explain a little bit what it means when you start your own company, maybe the early days of a company, when you're really starting off. How is that?
Sure. At the beginning, it's very tough, especially because you have an idea, and pretty much one of the most important things, one of the most crucial things is that you go out to the marketplace very early on and test it. Because otherwise you just waste a lot of time developing something and then finding out half a year later, okay, either someone has already developed that, or okay, I'm the first, but actually the marketplace are not interested. And that is really what you want to avoid.
For sure.
What we did at the beginning, we did a lot of brainstorming, and that's inevitable, that's needed. But as soon as we had an idea, we always tried to build a prototype very quickly, go out to some relevant market players and test it. And before we started with the Spectando, we had roughly 2 or 3, let's say, serious prototypes of other products. For example, one was augmented reality application for watches, where you can hold your smartphone onto your watch and you see the inside.
Okay.
We thought it's a great application. We went to some watch manufacturers, which fortunately are all based here in Switzerland. At the beginning they were like, oh, cool, but if they never really follow up, you kind of know that that it will not lead to anything.
Right.
And then with the Spectando, we did the same thing with platforms. We had positive feedback, and that encouraged us to keep going.
Yeah.
So I think really for students who want to start their startup, just keep that in mind. Go out to the market as soon as possible. But sure, at the early days, another issue is, you can't go to big companies and say, hey, I have an awesome idea, and expect them to collaborate with you. You always need to have developed at least MVP, and you need to show them something, and you will need to keep pushing until you're at a point where they really say, okay, that is something that we can use. And
I guess you can tell from their reactions, like. Well,
sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Okay, so let's not hold back the audience with what you actually do. What is Spectando all about? So give us a little bit of a pitch about your startup.
Sure. At Spectando, we are a computer vision company, and we are focused on real estate properties. The main mission that we have is that nowadays finding a property is a real pain. You go online, you see maybe 2 photos of a flat, and even if you have 10 photos, you never really know what the property is about. So what we started out doing is we've developed a smartphone app that allows anyone, private people, real estate people, to create high quality virtual tours just with their smartphone. And we are now collaborating with big real estate portals to integrate that so they can really offer it directly to their customers. We don't only have the solution with a smartphone only solution for professional users, we also have an automatic high quality solution that allows real estate agents to create a tour with the same quality as if taken by a professional photographer, but completely automated and themselves. So that obviously is quite a strong value proposition. If instead of having to pay a lot of money and ring up the professional photographer, they can do it all themselves. the agents really see the benefit and they can reach a larger audience, they can reach clients abroad. It's easier for them to win kind of like new projects if they are able to say, hey, I have this awesome new technology that improves my sales and will help you and us to sell your property faster and for a higher price. So that is really our main value proposition. And the interesting thing for platforms is that we basically offer the entire range, starting from private people smartphone only up to the high-end client that wants to have the premium quality.
Right. So let me clarify. So I want to buy, let's say, some kind of property, and like I'm going onto your platform, or I go onto some other platforms, and then I have, like, let's say, some kind of virtual reality button, and then I put on my goggles, or how does it work?
So let's say you want to sell your flat, or you want to find a flatmate. Which I guess is also quite relevant for students. You will then take out your smartphone, you create a virtual tour of your property, and this will then directly be integrated into your listing on any platform like ImmoScout, New Home, or HomeGate. And if you're looking for a flat, you will basically have photos, and then you will have a button virtual tour, and you will see the virtual tour directly on your screen, and you can walk through it with your mouse. Of course, you can also put on VR goggles, and you get an even more immersive experience. But knowing the current penetration rate of VR goggles, we didn't want to
focus on
to be dependent on it.
Right. It's really cool, actually. On your website, I saw like you can actually try it right on your landing page, which is really cool. So that's definitely worth it to try. But let's go a little bit more into like your expertise of the market. We discussed briefly like virtual reality. You mentioned augmented reality, proptech. Where do you see those industries going in the next couple of years?
Well, they will all move forward, obviously. And what is really interesting to see at the moment is that nowadays there are much more startups in the space of proptech than there were like a year ago. And I think a lot of startups have realized, okay, proptech, it's a very attractive market, because you're dealing with quite high revenues, quite high value, and up to now there has not been a lot of innovation going on. So I think it's definitely a market that will be disrupted. And I mean, of course, disruption always takes a certain amount of time. A lot of people at real estate conferences, they all say, okay, innovation in our space takes longer than expected, but the long-lasting effect, you will be surprised how significant it is.
Okay.
And the same thing will happen with VR, with virtual tours, what we are focusing on. At the moment you have a lot of agents that say, oh, no. The way I work is I put up 2 nice photos of the property, then I will lure the customer into the property, and then once I have them in the property, I can use all my sales guru pitch to try and sell them the property even if it's not good. We don't think that these kind of that this behavior will be possible in 2 years' time. The people looking for apartments, they really want to be able to visit everything online. And that is really the driving factor, that more agents are kind of forced to offer that service, and if they don't, you will not go and visit their property because you have like all other properties that you can visit online. If for this one you have to go out, you have to waste potentially half an afternoon. You're not going to do it.
First to market, probably first agents to jump on that train will probably be more successful than others later on, or it's probably like something that like is really trendy now. It's like probably like an extra selling point for the agent. As I said before, we met at the Digit Emo conference a few weeks back. There was like this Swiss proptech network. What do you see in terms of proptech in Zurich or Switzerland now coming up?
You mean specifically in Zurich?
Switzerland is good enough.
I mean, so apart from us, obviously, there are a lot of solutions focusing on giving digital solutions to the agents, or especially kind of like the bigger real estate management companies that facilitate the communication with clients and to have everything digital. Because nowadays if you go and visit a flat again, you end up with all those papers, and you have to fill out 100 papers. It's a waste of time, it's annoying both for the person looking for a property, but also for the management company, because then they get all these papers and they have to type it in on the PC. And so we see quite a lot of solutions in that space. Obviously, there are also quite some interesting solutions targeting investors. I guess Zurich is classically a finance place, and so it's natural that you find some startups that specifically target the real estate investors coming from Zurich.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, pretty much on the entire value chain at the moment, you see startups popping up and offering their solutions.
For sure.
And I mean, obviously, time will have to show,
which ones are the successful ones.
Which are the successful ones, which are able to survive. I think a lot of them, they what they do makes a lot of sense. But obviously, as a startup, you always need to look out that not only does it bring value, but that it allows you to generate enough revenue for you to survive as a company.
Well, definitely very interesting. PropTech, one of the last undisrupted industries. Very interesting to see what's going to happen in the next few years. Thank you very much for your time, Alex. And thank you very much everyone who tuned in for this episode. I really appreciate your attention and have a very good day. See you soon.